In today's class, we are going to see arrays and address associated with the arrays. Now let us consider the statement int a of 3 is equal to 10, 20, 30. When this statement is executed, compiler will allocate 6 bytes of memory location to the array. If we assume every integer is going to occupy 2 bytes, then in the memory locations, it will store the values 10, 20, and 30. So if we see the diagram, 10 is stored in the memory location 2000 and 2001, 20 is stored in 2002 and 2003, then 30 is stored in 2004 and 2005. Now, if I want to access the value 10, I should use a of 0. Here a is the name of the array and 0 is the index of 10. To access 20, we'll be using a of 1, then to access 30, a of 2. Now, the array index will start from 0 and it will proceed till n minus 1, where n is the size of the array. Let us assume that we want to access the address of these elements. So when I want to access the address of the elements, I have to use ampersand before the particular element. So ampersand a of 0 will give the address of the the first element, which is stored at the index 0. Then ampersand a of 1 will give the address of the second element, which is stored at the index 1, and so on. Now, whenever we use arrays like this, when we refer the name of the array like A, then it will give the starting address allocated to the array. So in this case, the compiler allocated 6 bytes of memory and all the 6 bytes are allocated contiguously. That means from 2000, it will allocate 6 continuous memory locations, 2001, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And when we refer the array name, it always refers to the base address, that is the starting address of the array. Now let us see how to access the address of the array elements. So in case of an array, if we want to access the ith element of the array, A, then we can achieve this in 6 different ways. The first way is the general way we always use, ampersand a of I. So here a of I refers to the ith element. If we write ampersand before that, it is address of the ith element. Instead of ampersand a of I, we can even use ampersand I of A, or we can even write a plus I. So when I write a, that refers to the address of the first element. When I write a plus I, it refers to the address of the ith element. Or I can write I plus A, or otherwise I can write a plus I inside parenthesis or I plus A inside parenthesis. So we can get the address of the array element by using all these 6 ways. Now let us see with the help of a program. So I want to access the address of the ith element in an array. So here I have declared a of 3 as an integer array and stored the values 10, 20, and 30. Now I need to print the address of the first element a of 0. So I can print it either by means of simply by referring a, or otherwise ampersand a of 0 or a plus 0. I have listed only 3 methods here. We can use the remaining 3 methods also. Then to print the address of the element at index 1, we can use a plus 1 or ampersand a plus 1, ampersand a of 1 or a plus 1 inside parenthesis. Likewise, we can print the address of all the elements in the array. And remember, when we are printing the address, we can use the format specifier %u. Now in this case, in the first printf, that is in printf in the line number 5, I am printing the address of the element 10. So I have used 3 different ways. So in the output, we can see in all the 3 ways, it is printing the same address. Similarly, the second element of the array is stored in the memory ending with 888. Okay, now if we see the difference between the first element of the array and the second element of the array in terms of their address, the first element is at the address ending with 884 and the second element is at the address ending with 888. The difference between these 2 numbers is 4. Now why we are getting this 4 is, in my case, the compiler has allocated 4 bytes to an integer. So I am getting the difference as 4. Now let us see how to access value of the array elements. So when we want to access the ith element in an array, generally we will use the case a of I. We have 5 more cases to access the value. Instead of a of I, you can write I of A, or otherwise you can write asterisk ampersand a of I. So here a of I represents the value of the ith element. When we write ampersand before that, it is address of the ith element. When we write star before this, it is the value or the address of this particular value. Here, when we write asterisk and ampersand, they will cancel each other. So it is similar to writing a of I. We can even print the value of a of I by means of star ampersand I of A, or otherwise we can write star within parenthesis a plus I. This a plus I will give us the address of the ith element, and when we write asterisk before that, it is the value at this particular address. And we can even write asterisk I plus A inside parenthesis. Now, let us see how to access the value of the array element through a program. So here, I have declared the array A of 3 and stored the elements 10, 20 and 30. Then, I am going to use a for loop and I am going to print value of all the array elements. Since there are 3 elements in the array, my for loop index starts from I is equal to 0, I less than 3, I plus plus. Always remember, since the first element of the array is stored at the index 0, I have to start the for loop with I is equal to 0. Then I have to proceed till n minus 1. Here n is 3. So I have to proceed till 2. So I have written I less than 3. Now, inside the printf statement, I am printing all the 6 different cases to print the value of the ith element in the array. So the cases are star, ampersand, a of I, then star, ampersand, I of A, then a of I, then I of A, then star, a plus I, then star, I plus A. So all these 6 methods will print the value of the ith element. When we start the for loop, I is equal to 0. So in the first time, the value of the value of the first element, which is at the index 0, will be printed. So in all the 6 cases, we are getting the value as 10 because our first element is 10. Then in the next iteration, we are incrementing I by 1. So I will be 1. And when we print, we'll be printing the value of the element A of 1. That is the second element. So the second element in the array is 20. So all the 6 different cases are printing 20. Then again we are incrementing I by 1. So now I is 2. Now I'll be printing the value of A of 2. And then again when I increment I will be now 3. So the condition will become false. So we will come outside the for loop and our program will be terminated.